Ever spent hours scrolling through Google results just to find a reliable synthesis only to hit a paywall or find nothing at all? I've been there. Today I'm giving you a professional grade alternative that usually costs thousands of dollars for free. Imagine you are a chemist working in a lab. You need to synthesize compounds constantly, but the synthesis itself isn't the hardest part. The real challenge is finding a reliable procedure. You might say, just Google it. Unfortunately, when it comes to chemistry, Google is not your best friend. First, it only works well if you know the exact name of the substance. Second, even then, Google rarely gives satisfactory results because most methodologies are buried in books and journals that aren't available online. So, what do? In my previous video, I shared my secret weapon for finding synthesis procedures, an offline database containing about 50,000 entries from books and manuals. It's a very powerful tool if you need a verified reference or a relatively simple substance. I use it all the time because I rarely synthesize anything overly complex. I highly recommend watching that video if you haven't yet. In this video, we're going further. I'll show you how to find the synthesis for virtually any substance by sharing an even more powerful database. First, let's see how the pros do it. Professional chemists use Reaxys or SciFinder. Let me show you a typical search on Reaxys. It is incredibly powerful. If a synthesis has been published anywhere, Reaxys will find it. It gives you exactly what you need, the reaction, the procedure, or a direct link to it. When I worked as a chemist, I used it every single day. There is only one problem with Reaxys: the price. It costs around $10,000 a year, and that's not all. Even if I had the money, I still couldn't get access because they only work with large institutions. My only option would be to ask friends who work there. We need a free alternative, and there is one, or rather, there was. It's the Spresi database. It's not as massive as Reaxys, but 15 years ago, Spresi offered a free one-week trial to anyone. Back then, you could officially and legally download their entire database. Today, Spresi is a strictly paid service, just like Reaxys. But I happen to have this database, downloaded about 10 years ago. Here's what it looked like originally: 14 databases with 200,000 reactions each. It was split this way because it was designed for ISIS base, which couldn't handle large files. This is the version you might find on trackers. Since ISIS base is officially dead, I converted this entire database into Data Warrior. I merged all 14 files into one massive database and cleaned out incorrect data that was causing Data Warrior's search to crash. Let's take a look at it. The database comes in an archive. After extracting it, you'll see this Data Warrior file. To open it, you need to have Data Warrior installed. If you don't have it yet, you can install it directly by clicking this file or download the installer from the official website. The database is huge, about 1.5 gigabytes, and it takes a while to open. It contains a total of about 2.5 million reactions. Let's try to find something. Here is the database interface in Data Warrior. This is the default table view, where you see all the columns. On the right, there's a filter panel used for searching. At the bottom is the detail view, which I don't really use. In the filter panel, there are two filters: reaction and reaction retron. Let's try a standard reaction filter. First, make sure the drop-down is set to contains, then double-click the drawing area to open the editor. I want to find the synthesis of anthraquinone, so I draw it on the right side of the arrow, the product side. Note that in this case, we can't leave the starting material side empty, or we won't find anything. We need to place at least one atom or bond that will definitely be in the starting material, usually a carbon atom or a CC bond. Click OK. As you can see, it found a lot of results because by default it performs a substructure search. Let's modify the query to forbid substituents like we did in the last video. Now the products only show anthraquinone. Here are many links to articles where this reaction is performed. I'm interested in this specific reaction because it's less toxic than oxidation with hexavalent chromium. Let's search for it and see the results. We got quite a few hits because we did substructure search. I am also interested in similar reactions. Let's try to find the full article with the procedures. the database has a DOI column. If there's a DOI there, you're in luck. You can go to Sci-Hub and pull the paper. But don't rely on it too much. Sometimes the DOI is incorrect or missing entirely. If the DOI is missing, try finding it via Crossref. Copy the info and paste it there. It gives many results. The first one is usually the most relevant, but not always. Let's check this DOI. See, this is just an abstract, which is useless for us because it lacks details. One last trick. Ask Gemini to find the DOI for you. In this case, it did a great job and I found the original article. Unfortunately, it's in Japanese. Not a big deal. Just give it to Gemini and it will OCR and translate it for you. Keep in mind that some articles might not have a DOI at all and some entries might be patents. Patents are actually easier. You can Google them or find them through AI. Now let's talk about the reaction retron filter. Here you only input the product. It will show only those reactions where the fragment you drew was actually formed during the reaction. It's perfect for finding all possible ways to synthesize a specific molecular fragment. Here is how it works with anthraquinone. And now a bonus. I don't just have the Spresi database. There's another large database in this archive. It's smaller, about 220,000 reactions, but it covers more reliable journals and generally has higher quality data. I don't even know where it came from. It's been on my hard drive for 10 years. It looks like an early dump of the Beilstein database. I could have merged them, but I left them separate. You can merge these databases yourself in Data Warrior with just a few clicks. I must say, these two databases are not a 100% replacement for Reaxys. They aren't as complete, and they don't cover the last decade of research. However, this is the best you can get for free. Combine these with Google and patent searches, and you'll find almost anything you need. I hope you find this database useful. Head over to my Telegram channel to download it, and make sure to read the instructions in the README file. That's all for today. See you next time.